was using my computer upstairs to watch every single one of Eric's videos. And then I was watching all the YouTube presidential debates for gay rights, the ones that specifically were about the questions that were specifically towards gay rights and stuff like that. That was, after the hour and a half of watching every single one of Eric's videos, which I highly recommend everybody do. The man's a genius, and when he cusses on his rants, it's the most straightforward, sexiest thing you've ever heard in your life. Yes, that's what I said, straightforward and sexy. He doesn't cuss often, I've noticed, so when you see him say the word fuck, you know that man is pissed. Which is interesting. Because as you tell, my father was a sailor, so I cuss like a sailor. Fuck is every other word out of my fucking mouth. I am 100% giving up Jackie Chanel after this next season. I have to, for the survival of my own consciousness and my sanity. And the reason of that being is simple. I cannot live a double life anymore. I refuse for people to think that that is even remotely a part of my existence. She's not. She's a fictional character that I created over 6.5 years ago to get in the spotlight, to have some fun. She is not an adequate representation of who I am. I still have manly traits. I still like to watch a good NASCAR race, drink cheap beer or imported Amber Bock. I hate Amber Bock. Imported, it's not even imported, I don't think, but Woodchuck Amber Cider, which is really good. Expensive, but good. I am not opposed to shopping, but I don't go pointless shopping like my mom does. I don't walk into a store and the goal to be walk down every single aisle, every stitch of clothing inspected before I leave the store. No, I go in and get what I want. A few things might come to my head as I'm walking through, but that aren't on the list. But otherwise, I have a list. I go, I get it, I leave. Unless it's a clothing store specifically for me, then okay. But giving up, throwing in the towel, is becoming increasingly more of a really good option every day. Because if you don't desire something any longer, if you focus on not desiring a thing, then you instantly begin to feel better about not having it. Well, let me give you an example. I, as a gay male, classify myself with the bear community. More appropriately, a cub. I'm nowhere near hairy enough to be considered a bear. So I like to kind of consider myself a cub. But I could be a bear because of my facial hair. But my chest hair, I'm not going to show you my boobs, but, no chest hair, barely any. My stomach's hairy, my legs are hairy. But other than that, so, and although every person, I'm sure, loves to cuddle, a bear hibernates at night and loves to cuddle. So does a cub. I love to cuddle. Not just at night. Watching a movie, reading a book, with my head in his lap. Little things. Ain't got nothing to do with sex. Just has to watch a movie. Cuddling up on the couch, in a man's arms, watching a movie. Whatever. That, in and of itself, can depress me to tears at night when I'm trying to go to sleep. The fact that I don't have what I like. I have a bazillion, yes, that's a word, I just created it, a bazillion amount of pillows. Not one of them makes me feel better. I used to go to the club and smell a guy and ask him what his cologne was, and then go out and get samples of the cologne and spray it all over my pillowcases. That didn't help, and it was a little creepy. So imagine if I no longer desired to cuddle, how much better I would feel if I fought the urge to want to cuddle and then no longer needed to cuddle, and then all of a sudden the whole cuddle thing's out of my head, I'd feel better. Okay, so maybe that's a bad representation, but it seems to make sense to me. But what can one say? I am a 29-year-old, soon to be 30 in January, gay male. If I don't, I have a huge phobia of not finding a relationship before or shortly after 30. I don't want to be one of these men that find a relationship in their 50s when there is no living to be done except for retirement, boring sex, and geriatric patient appointments and, AARP meetings and crap like that. I want to be young when I find my partner. I want to be able to go travel and do things and enjoy things and do things that when we get older we won't be able to do. And so, the plight of the me would seem that that's just not gonna happen. Who knows? I could be wrong. He could drop in my lap tomorrow. But I highly doubt that. As a matter of fact, I find that to be extremely unrealistic, and idiotically thought upon. I see it as a childhood fantasy, as a little girl dreams of getting married in a Cinderella dress. I think that what I want is equally as much of a fantasy as that. At best, I could hope for a man that moderately cares, every once in a while might want to sleep in the same bed with me, and hopefully doesn't fuck the rest of the fucking town while I'm in bed. But, again, when do you give up? When do you say enough is enough? It's getting warm in here. And just say, I'm done. Throw in the towel. And me and Shamu can go about our business and live happily ever after as the couple that we have always meant to be. I'm a whale, he's a whale. Hey, it'll work. I have a little bit more blubber than he does. But, I don't know. What I do know is that I'm going to go upstairs now and smoke another cigarette, read some more in my book, try to get some sleep, because I do have to work tomorrow. For those of you who don't know my schedule, Thursdays are my Mondays. Mondays are my Fridays. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are my Saturday and Sunday. And this week coming up, I am, without fail, even if I have to go by my fucking self, to Tybee Island and going swimming in the goddamn ocean. So, I hope I don't have to go by myself, but, hey. I don't know, people. I put this out here. God only knows, probably only my 23 subscribers will ever watch this. And people from the outside who will watch it will see it as another fag whining about this and that and the other thing. But I'm not. I'm just a guy. I'm lonely as hell. And, it's my favorite line in the movie. It's at the end of Notting Hill when Julia Roberts walks in and looks at Hugh Grant and says, I'm just a girl asking a guy to love her. And it's the same respect. I'm just a guy asking mystery man out there to love me. You wouldn't think that would be a difficult task, but I think to some people it is. I really need to trim this side up a little bit. I don't think it matches this side. Larry the Cable Guy can get his right. I think I might have to try and get mine right. God, that was wrong. God bless the pygmies in South America. Y'all have a good night.